this, I'm going to talk about how I keep my grades together. I have all of these folders for 5th, 8th, all of the grades, and this is where I keep the testing score keys. So inside, when you get your paces, you'll get your bright colored pace, and then you'll get a score key. The score key is usually, for the older grades at least, a gray color. And inside it, in the smack middle of it, if you open it up, instead of having a pace test, like these paces have pace tests in the center of them, your score key will have the score key for 3 of the pace tests. I pull those out and I put them inside this folder. So in here is all of the score keys that I need for 8th grade or 3rd grade or 7th grade or whatever it is. So when I give a kid their pace, I pull out the pace test out of the center because they can't see that. I pull that out and I have just this individual pace test. Then I put it inside my folder right here so that when it's time for them to take a test, I say, okay, go get me your folder. So my 8th grader will bring me the folder. I pull the pace test out. They give me their pace. They say their verse. I give them the pace test. And then when they're done with it, they return it to me. I'll have my folder and I just come over here. So if it's social studies, come over to social studies, match the numbers together, and I start scoring with this. That has been the easiest way that I've found to do multiple children in multiple grades and to keep them straight. So it's just a basic, what is that, 1-inch, half-inch binder. And I just print this off and put it in there. And by the time my high schooler is done, I'll have a folder for every single grade. So in the back of this, let's see, I'll use this one. And on the back, I put their progress report that we fill out every quarter. And then over here, I put the, what's it called, master record sheet. And then after I score their test, I can record their grade really easily. And then I have that all there, folded up. I get their new pace, rip out the pace test out of it, put their new test in here and give them their new pace. So that's what I found to be the easiest, just on record keeping, is to have these folders. There's many different ways to do it. This is the easiest for me with all the kids that I have, just to keep everything straight. And then going into next year, I'll put the 5th grade folder away and pull out the 6th grade folder for my 6th grader. And then I have them all together. I'll have all of their folders in there for whatever grades I need. Also to mention, after I record their grades on here and give them their test back so they can see whatever score they made. If they got 100, I told you guys in another video, I use big stars for 100. So down here, that one's 100%. These smaller ones are, they get between a 90 and a 99. They get 99.5, they get one of these stars. Math is different. We do a different curriculum for math, so that's why there's so many stars there. The stars come in this kit with gold cards and everything. But after I give them their pace test back, I hand it back to them with the star on top of it, and they put their star on their chart according to what quarter we're in and what size star it is. And then we know we need to do 3 stars every quarter. So here they did 4 stars there and only 2 stars here. So at Christmas time they were fine. They had done 6 paces by Christmas. Here in science they did the same, 2 stars here, 4 stars there. Social studies, we were 2 behind. We should have spent Christmas catching up on that. And that could be difficulty understanding. That could be they failed a test and had to redo it, because you don't get a star if you fail a test. But you want to do 12 stars in each subject. My younger kids do between 13 and 15 stars in each subject, and then when they get into high school, if they need to slow down or if we're taking college classes or whatever, they're usually ahead, even if they can graduate early and then supplement with college classes or get college credit for that. Haven't quite crossed that bridge yet, but that's what we do with the stars, the folders, the pace test, and the pace test score keys that come inside their score key. So make sure you take that out when you get their score keys, but also make sure you have a place to put it, because if you don't, it can be really annoying to be searching around trying to find a test when they have the score key but you don't have the test key, because you know it's there somewhere. Also, I wanted to mention I start doing score keys from 3rd grade on up. Below that, usually I can score it myself pretty easily. So 3rd grade on up is when I start having the kids score their own work. Different things depending on what your kids are like. The answers are all in here. It really teaches them really carefully to check. I am a little unique in the way, in the school I was raised in, we scored all of our own work and then we turned it into the teachers, and about halfway through my education the teachers started scoring all of our work as well. I think there must have been some trouble with cheating or just circling the bottom of the page that some students were doing, so they just decided to kind of nip that by having everybody score it, all the teachers score after we scored. What I heard of one school doing, and I really liked that, is that if they find a scoring mistake, so if I'm scoring my kids' work and I find a scoring mistake, say they used the wrong word or left a spot blank, then at the bottom, when I'm done scoring, well, this is supervisor score, but when I'm done scoring, I put a check mark at the bottom, and then if there's a mistake on it, I put a line through that check mark. And then I go over to page 1, and up here I'll put page 12. And then I'll put like a sticky tab on this page. So when they get their pace back, they have a sticky note on page 1, and they go in and they find page 12, and then they have to go back and find their mistake that they didn't score correctly. If it's a spelling error, I usually just put spelling SP on it so they know what it is. I give a little bit of grace on that. But when they're done, if they have 10 mistakes, 10 things that they missed, then we redo the pace, which I know can sound really harsh, but literally I'm just going through the pace doing exactly what they need to do with scoring. So if I'm catching stuff after they have circled the bottom of the page and said this page is correct, then we're dealing with, well, a lot of different issues there, but one issue is just the fact that I said it was correct and it's not. We need to slow down, we need to score more carefully. The consequences are, if you're going to go through and just circle pages, then it's not going to go well with you, because in life we have to do things with the standard of excellence, and I'm not raising these kids to be good kids, and I'm not raising them to be good students. I'm raising them to be good adults, and I really want my kids to be able to go into any workplace, into any field, into any college, and go, I know how to do this with a standard of excellence because I've been raised my whole life to do things with a standard of excellence. So that's why we do that. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people score their own kids' work, which is very doable. You can totally score your own kids' work. I feel like that misses a super valuable lesson that ACE offers. So think about it before you do that, because there's a lot to be had with the kids just learning to score their own work and learning. I feel like there's a lot that you can learn from being like, oh, I got that wrong. Why did I get that wrong? Oh my goodness, I didn't put a period on any of these sentences. I really need to work on putting periods on the end of the sentences, as opposed to your mom just handing you something saying, hey, periods need to go. A lot of times people don't learn as well when they're just told put periods on the end. So everybody's different. I know some people that travel and it's so much easier for them just to score and keep track of that. So I'm not saying one way is right to do it over another, just sharing my personal experience. So that is the grade, where I keep their score stuff, a little bit more about the star charts, and how I pull out the test, and as well as the score key answers.